What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today we are going to be checking out the Kancept Kryo. We have two here sent by my buddy Justin over at Tier 1 Tactical. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies, gents, knife nerds, and knife nuts. Welcome back. We are talking about the Kancept Kryo today. These two knives were provided to the channel by Tier 1 Tactical. Justin is just an awesome super dude that we've been talking back and forth for the last little bit. We are a part of a couple of pass around groups, and so I've become really good friends with him. These are his personal knives. I've sent him some knives. It's just a great relationship, and I love him dearly. These are not the first Kancept knives, though, that I have. I'm part of a Kancept pass around group, and I currently have, which you will see a video probably soon after this one, of the Kancept Gremlin. Super cool little knife. I also have checked out the Kancept Shard, which I really liked. I'll see if I can't link that in the description if you want to check out the Shard. I really like that knife. The Kancept Kryo is definitely more in my wheelhouse, though, than even the Shard. The Shard was nice, but these two knives, same knife, different configurations. You can get the Kryo in an array of different things. I saw one, I believe it was Big Red EDC, who did one with the micarta handles. Oh yeah, that looked cool. It was micarta with a satin blade. Man, was it nice. You have a carbon fiber D2 blade here, and then the premium version, which is the full titanium and S35 VN. Both of them are about the same size. There are a few little differences, and we will go over those, but the knife as a whole, I really, really like. So basically, the Kancept Kryo in this configuration, carbon fiber handles with D2 blade. Both of the blades are the same on these models as far as the shape. I do like the shape. I'm not a crazy fan of recurve blades. However, this one is a very slight recurve, if you can see that. So it really, really is not going to mess with me in my sharpening. That's really the only reason that I'd prefer not to have a recurve, but it's ever so slight, not a problem in the least. Matter of fact, it does help in some of the cutting tasks that you will have. So big fan, like that. I love the what do you call it? The hole, the deployment hole, which is great for spidey flicking. Now, I will say one of the differences in these knives is the finish, of course, on the blades. You have just your regular coated blade, nice swedge, very straightforward. This one is S35VN with a stone wash on that coated blade, and it just looks amazing. Oh my gosh. Do I love the way this looks. And then, of course, this black wash on the tie handles. Man, does this thing look awesome. And then, of course, you can see you've got a pop of color. You've got blue on the pivot screw and on these external screws here. This one is wearing the blue pocket clip as well with these. Now, the only thing that's not blue is the back spacers, or the barrel spacers in the back. Some people have complained about that. I don't find that to be an issue at all. I think it looks really, really good. The main difference between these knives, of course, is this titanium is, so we can put it this way, a titanium frame lock. And then, of course, this one, their G10, their micarta and all that are liner locks. Both are running on bearings. And this one does have a titanium pocket clip. So very well put together knives, both of these. The internal liners on this one, the titanium frame lock, just excellently well done. You know, the guys at Kancept are just, they've got a lot of experience. They might be a newer company, but they've got a lot of experience behind them as far as design, manufacturing. So everything that I have seen and being able to handle from Kancept has really been just quality stuff. Now, there's a huge difference between price in these two, because you still get some pretty premium materials, but the blade is D2. It's a budget steel. For this one right here, you're still only going to pay about $68 for a titanium pocket clip, carbon fiber, sweet action, I mean, it's just great. I think it's an excellent deal. This one is a little bit more premium with the full tie-in S35VN for around $200. So that's a pretty good price for what I see on the market. As far as these materials, I really can't complain about that, especially for the quality that you're getting. I'm telling you guys, if you haven't handled any Kancept knives, I would highly recommend it because they really do good stuff. It's a good, unique design. I wouldn't say, I guess, unique, but I like the design. I like the milling that they do on the tie handles, these little areas where it's a lot of attention to detail. Some of the differences between these guys being a budget version versus a premium version. Obviously, the locking mechanism. The blades on the website do call out to be the same thickness, but they are not. This one is like 150-something thousandths. This one's about 130-something thousandths. So got a little bit thicker blade of that S35VN on the more premium version. They are the exact same size. The jimping is just a tad bit different on the premium version versus this. Both is very functional and in a good spot. Both of these, of course, are ergonomic. It's just, they're both the same size, but definitely a weight difference. I don't remember. I think the carbon fiber is about 4.14, and then what was the titanium? 4.31. So not that big of a difference. You definitely can feel it if you're doing this, but I don't think it's going to be an issue in your pocket. The tie version is milled out. Let's see if I can actually get a good little angle there. Probably not. But yeah, you have pockets milled out to help with that weight, and it's freaking awesome. Now, one of the other big differences of these knives is the action. Both of them are good, but let me explain. So on the carbon fiber, and I'm just going to go ahead and assume the G10 and the micarta are probably going to be like this. The D10 is definitely lighter on this one than it is on this one. So flipping action is great. The middle finger flick is great. It's all running on bearings, so it's, little shake shut. Just a wonderful, wonderful action. Now, the detent for the flipper action, I can fail. A lot of times I do that on all the knives just to see if I can fail it. I can. It's very hard to fail, so don't let that discourage you on getting this knife because the flipper action is very, very easy. You're not going to fail this thing unless you're, trying to fail it. I'll say that. But the middle finger flick on this guy is super easy to do, and of course, that's how I prefer to open this knife. This one, the detent for the flipping action, is superb. You cannot fail this. It just loads up with a great amount of pressure, and then boom, it just comes out. So you're not going to have to worry about that on this knife. Now, the detent obviously is awesome for the flipping action. Rockets out of there. And you can still do the middle finger flick. You can still do it just fine. However, I have to put my finger further down to get the leverage to get that broken. On this one, I can put my finger up here and flick it out, just no problem. But if I do that here, it's just a little bit harder. So I figure I put my finger down here, flip it out. It's not a big deal. So I love the fact that I can do them both that way. Of course, this one does feel a lot more robust, just more premium because it is. I mean, this is definitely an ergonomic knife. It's the right size. I've got, big old hands, but I'm still able to get my hands around this knife. Very, very comfortable. I can't get over really the quality that you get, especially with this model. For the price, man, I tell you, it's just really, really great. The pocket clips on these two are the same, so they carry about the same, other than the weight. So I can't complain about the pocket clip. It does stick out just a little bit. It's not very deep carry. I don't care about that. I know a lot of you guys do. But the pocket clip does work phenomenal. It's got good tension. It's not coming out of your pocket. So very, very nice. Getting the lock bar out of the way on the tie version is very easy. It's got a nice little scallop there, chamfered area to get your thumb in there and to disengage that lock. Of course, it has a over travel stop and of course I have to forget the term. Lock insert on this guy, and it's done absolutely well. I really can't get over it. I feel like I'm holding a more expensive knife in my hand in this premium version. And as well as on this one. You know, I'm getting D2 steel carbon fiber. You're still getting some pretty good materials, but I feel like it's even more expensive in the hand than the $68 price tag that I have here. So let's go ahead and get some size comparisons on these guys. We'll see if we can't do this. Keep them both in there to give you an idea, because I think it's a great size. Here it is against the Spyderco PM2. Very similar to PM2 in size. And here it is against the Para 3. So as you can see, definitely more Para 2 size. If you're used to carrying the Para 2 in the pocket, you are not going to have an issue. I do want to kind of show you, though, the profile of it closed where you'll have it in the pocket. You know, as you can see, you know, it's definitely smaller this way. It feels like it's a bigger knife, but it doesn't feel that way. It's kind of hard to explain. But as far as the profile in your pocket, you definitely have a slimmer area because of this slot versus the big, huge hump on the PM2. So if this feels comfortable in your pocket, this is absolutely going to work for you. No problems there. One other knife I want to do a little comparison to. This is the CRJB Feldspar. This is definitely one of my favorite budget knives. But as you can see, pretty doggone close as well on that guy. And you know, you guys know the PM2, the Para 3, but I mean the Manix 2, okay? Everybody, it's a large knife, they say. Look at that. It's so I think it's a great size, and especially for the weight. I think the weight is awesome for a great EDC carry. You know, a lot of people go by the ounce an inch, and all that jazz, and that's perfectly fine. To each their own. I personally like the bigger knives, like to have a little bit of weight. You know, it's just my thing. So if you are going for lighter weight, they make a G10 version. This version is pretty light, titanium, full titanium. Even though it's pocketed, you know, still weighs over 4 ounces. I still think that's awesome. But some people, just be aware. As far as the price of these guys, like I said, these two right here have a pretty big, I guess, difference because of the materials, but there are so many different variations and they can, you know, go up. I think the retailers that I think have them right now are Blade HQ, White Mountain Knives. I think those are the only two that I looked up, but you can probably find them a lot other places. Of course, Kancept, I believe you can go to Kancept and get them straight from there. But they're just really, I'm surprised on how much I love the ergonomics on these guys. Now, you can see it pretty similar. You've got a little bit different of a forward finger, or not a finger choil, but the first choil area there. It's almost like it's a little bit bigger on this guy than it is on the tie. But, you know, it just really feels good in hand in any, you know, grip. I can't find any hot spots. That pocket clip is done very, very well. It basically disappears in your hand. So I can't find any faults with that. Now, I have handled, like I said, a couple of different Kancept knives. This one is in S35VN and D2. I have not had them enough to know about if these steels are really good heat treat. However, I know a lot of folks who have these knives and have had them for a while, and the steel seems to be holding up absolutely great. So I have no doubts in my mind that these two steels are done correctly. I know I've heard a little bit of people, you know, say that they don't really know. I mean, it's a great price, but is the steel done right? I have no qualms in telling you that I think that they are. Just because I have a lot of friends who have these knives and have been able to talk to them, and they think they're stellar. So you know, the experience that is behind Kancept knives, the people that are running it, they know what they're doing. they really do. So very, very thankful to Mr. Justin over at Tier 1 for letting me experience this. These are definitely my kind of knives. I really, really have enjoyed putting them in pocket, and I don't want to give them back, but I am, because I have to. So thanks, guys, for stopping in and checking these out with me. I really appreciate it. If you like this kind of stuff, check out the rest of my videos. I got a lot on there about a bunch of different knives. Stay tuned, because I got a lot more coming as well. And I really appreciate it. I love all my subscribers. You guys are awesome. Leave a comment, you know, throw that thumbs up, all that regular good stuff. I really would appreciate it. You guys stay safe in this crazy world that we're living in, and we will see you in the next one.